Hello, goals. How are you doing? Well, 2025 is almost over. Can you believe it? Honestly, I am so ready to leave this year behind and step into 2026 with brand new energy. But before we close this chapter, we need to talk about something important. 2025 was a huge year for Ghost, a year that marked a new era, major achievements, and moments that will stay engraved forever in the band's history. So today we're going to take a look back at the most important Ghost moments of 2025. Let's go. On March 3rd, we finally got the official announcement. Ghost was getting a new frontman, but the real reveal didn't arrive until 2 days later. On March 5th, the band presented him to the world with the release of Satanized, the very first single from the new album that our newly crowned Papa Perpetua would show to the world, Skeletá. A brand new era marked by a very different Papa compared to his predecessors. Half mask, full face makeup, and a darker, more dramatic presence. We saw it in full force on April 11th when Ghost released the second single, Lacrima, giving fans a deeper look into the sound and emotion of this new age. That same month, the first leg of the Skeletor kicked off, a super successful run with only two cancellations, one in Madrid due to technical issues and one in Mexico because of health problems, but still marked by a standout performance at Madison Square Garden, one of the most prestigious venues in the world. With the tour just beginning, Ghost dropped the third single from Skeletá Peacefield on April 22nd, and only 3 days later, on April 25th, Skeletá was officially released. The album debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, marking a historic milestone for the band and proving that Ghost had officially stepped into global rock dominance. Just 1 month later, we witnessed one of the most iconic moments of the entire year. At the Polar Music Prize ceremony in Stockholm, Ghost performed a special version of Bohemian Rhapsody along with Opeth guitarist Fredrik Åkesson and the Eric Erickson Chamber Choir. They performed in front of Brian May, Roger Taylor, Adam Lambert, Swedish royalty, and a very select audience. It was a moment of pure respect and artistic ambition. Progressive guitars, choir, theatrical performance, and a fusion of legacy and modernity. On July 5th, we also saw Papa V take part in the incredible Back to the Beginning event celebrating Black Sabbath held at Villa Park in Birmingham, UK. Representing Ghost, Papa V performed Bark at the Moon as part of a special supergroup paying tribute to the legacy of Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. It was a performance that marked an important moment in the band's legacy, and one that Tobias himself described as deeply emotional, as he found himself surrounded by some of the biggest figures in rock and metal, many of them heroes he had admired since his teenage years. In July 24, Ghost reached a new mainstream milestone with their performance of Lacrima on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon. It marked one of the band's most high-profile television appearances to date, and the first major late-night TV performance of the Skeletá era. Shortly after the appearance, Lacrima saw a noticeable surge in streams, social media engagement increased, and Ghost's presence in mainstream media grew significantly. For many fans and critics, the Fallon performance symbolized Ghost's full crossover into global pop culture, proving that the band could maintain their dark, ritualistic aesthetic while thriving on one of the biggest mainstream platforms in the world. On October 10th, Tobias stepped onto a stage to do something many fans never thought they would see. For one night only, he performed as himself. No papa, no character, no mask, and no makeup. Dressed casually, playing guitar, Tobias joined Swedish singer Lars Winnerbäck at a very special event in his hometown Linköping, celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Nippon Prize. The moment quickly went viral, social media flooded with reactions, many fans pointing out how genuinely happy Tobias looked on stage, smiling throughout the performance, completely at ease and clearly in his element. For many, it was a rare and intimate glimpse behind the myth of Ghost, a reminder of the artist behind the mask, and a powerful contrast to the theatrical world he usually inhabits. 2025 also proved to be a year filled with awards and recognition for Ghost. Revolver magazine named Ghost Live Band of the Year, highlighting the impact and ambition of the Skeletor on a global scale. Both Sweden Rock Magazine and Metal Hammer selected Skeletá as Album of the Year, confirming the record's critical and cultural significance within the rock and metal world. At the same time, Rock Sound magazine honored Ghost with the Visionary Artist Award, recognizing the band's unique artistic direction and long-term creative vision. And the recognition didn't stop there. Tobias received the International Success of the Year award from the Swedish Music Publishers Association, reinforcing his status not only as a global phenomenon but also as a key ambassador of Swedish rock in 2025. To close the year on a high note, Ghost also received a nomination for the 2026 Grammy Awards in the category of Best Metal Performance for the song Lacrima. When it comes to the lore, 2025 has also been a year full of major developments. Throughout the year, we were given 4 new chapters, introducing 2 new characters, Marika and Judith, the ministry's newest employee. However, the central storyline of these episodes has clearly been the growing frustration of our newly appointed Frater Imperator. He feels trapped in his new role, unable to express himself with the same freedom he once had on stage. His frustration reaches such a point that even Sister Imperator has to visit him in her ghostly form to give him a much-needed motivational talk. Among the most important takeaways from these chapters is the fact that the brothers want to meet, with both Frater and Saltarian setting a date for late 2026 or early 2027. And in the most recent episode, we were shown what appears to be the moment when the Skeletor will officially come to an end. We don't know what surprises the new year will bring, but one thing is certain. Ghost will not leave us indifferent. And that's a wrap. And before we end this video, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to everyone who watched, commented, shared, and supported the channel throughout this year. Whether you've been here since the beginning or you just joined recently, it truly means a lot. Whatever 2026 has in store, I hope it treats you kindly, and that Ghost keeps being the soundtrack to your lives just like it is to mine. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more Ghost content. And remember,
go live your lives, goddammit.